Hello and welcome to the February 24th edition of Speedway Digest Thursday Night Thunder, the most hardcore motorsports program on the internet. This is episode 229 of the series. I'm your host, Adam Jason Sinclair, and on tonight's program we'll be talking about late model racing, NASCAR, whatever other motorsports topic comes into conversation. Our first guest this evening is Derek Griffith. Griffith, who opened his 2022 season at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing at New Smyrna Speedway with 7 events over 9 nights, runs Northeast Auto Imports, New England's premier importer of Japanese domestic market vehicles, where SpotOn provides Derek with a fully integrated retail business solution designed to help him track customer data, set up appointments for test drives and vehicle service, handle customer marketing and review management, and accept all types of payments. While racing, Derek uses SpotOn dashboard to keep his business running in between races. Derek's been competing in several different series and always has for his entire career. This year he's focusing on late model racing, but he has a bunch of different other racing series he competes in as well. We're now pleased to welcome Derek Griffith into the program. Hello, how are you doing this evening?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty well. Unfortunately, our co-host will not be able to join us this evening, but she did give me a few follow-up questions for you to take on, and I'll get to those in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and get started. How did you first get involved in racing?
When I was growing up as a kid, my father would run kind of like bombers or enduro cars at Hudson Speedway. Grew up in Hudson, New Hampshire, so I've been at the racetrack since I was, I don't know, I think my first time there was 6 or 8 months old. So been there my whole life and kind of just was around it. Never to this level by any means, but I got the taste of it early.
During the height of the pandemic, almost all racing was sim racing. I don't know if you've done any sim racing. I talked a little about that last week on the program. Do you think the popularity of the sport and racing in general will continue now that cars have actually returned to the track?
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty interesting to see how all the sim stuff worked. And I mean, the excitement of any form of racing, whether it had been on sim or you know, gaming platforms, it was pretty big during the height of the pandemic. And it's been a pleasant surprise at the beginning of this year. The Daytona 500 was a sellout. We went to race at New Smyrna earlier this year, and earlier this month, really. And it was packed there. It was packed over at Citrus County. And then also for Dirt Nationals, it was completely packed down there too. So it's good to see it's full-fledged.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the World Series of Asphalt Racing for anybody who hasn't been there? I actually had a chance to head out there a couple of years ago, but it's a pretty awesome event. But can you tell us a little bit more about how it's organized and what exactly it is?
Yeah, it's kind of like the lead up of circle track asphalt grassroots racing to the Daytona 500. So New Smyrna Speedway, about 30 minutes away from Daytona Speedway. You start racing the Friday before, Friday, 2 Fridays before the Daytona 500. And you end on the Saturday, which is the day before the Daytona 500, and you race 9 consecutive nights in a row. You know, we as a division might have 1 or 2 nights off, but man, what an amazing week of racing! You get this year you had the Wheel and Tour mods there. Super late models were there 7 nights. They had pro late models there 7 nights, and street stocks and Florida modifieds and all sorts of stuff. So I mean, the racing is it doesn't stop.
There's a lot of talk about your finish in New Smyrna against fellow driver Jesse Love. What was it like to race hard side by side for 13 consecutive laps?
It was good. You know, Jesse's a great kid, and his progression over the last couple of years has been pretty amazing. So it was fun. You know, I knew off the initial start there that he was going to drive in and run me up, and he did. And I got to him and did the same thing he did to me. And then after that, I mean, we ran side by side without barely even touching each other. So it's not very often you get to race like that with people. It's pretty dang cool to be able to race door to door, fender to fender that long and not have any issues.
What's your favorite track to compete on?
My favorite track to compete on is probably Thompson Speedway in Connecticut. My favorite track in general is Hudson Speedway, where I grew up watching, and the owner is a really, really good friend of mine now. But competing wise, probably Thompson.
What emotions did you feel when SpotOn was announced as your primary sponsor for your super late model this season?
It was great. I worked with Spot On last year. We worked together in an ARCA season, a partial ARCA season, only two races. But I went to Daytona and Kansas with them as a primary sponsor, and they really wanted to be on board this year as well for some more racing and stay on. They're growing as a company, and I'm growing as a race car driver. So timing wasn't 100% perfect to get a full season down or anything like that, but we're really close. So I was just thrilled to have him on for another year and continue the partnership. I think we can really help each other a lot, and I'm looking forward to 2022 with him.
Aside from the obvious, the money and support such as that, how does SpotOn help you out with the team?
Spot On's technology really helps me kind of keep a thumb on my business while I'm away. I'm a small business owner, so it's pretty difficult to be at 1,000+ miles away sometimes and make sure things are going smooth back home. And they really have the technology and software to keep me informed without bugging my guys every 20 or 30 minutes. I can like I said, keep my thumb on everything while I'm away, and that's so helpful for me as an owner of a business that I can stay in touch with everything without slowing anyone else down.
You've driven quite a few different racing series. Which series would you personally feel you've grown more from as a race car driver?
I feel like the the most I've learned, the most that's like shaped me is definitely the late model racing. Primarily because the way we've done it, it's been our own equipment, our own way. We've worked on it ourselves from day one. Really, I'm lucky to have a couple really good people behind me that want to race, and it's taught me a lot over the years. Growing up in racing is a little difficult sometimes because you don't always understand it when you're younger on all the work that really goes into these things to be competitive. And some people do this as a fun hobby, or just for the weekend stuff. And I don't know, I think maybe I'm just a little too competitive to do it for just fun alone. I think we're really only having fun when we are competitive. So to deal with the work involved, I think has made me understand a lot more, especially as you move up the ranks. You can appreciate the guys that work on those cars every day, day in, day out, nighttime at the racetrack. I mean, you build those connections with those guys because you've been in their shoes. You know exactly what it takes to do a set of tires, or hang a body on the thing, or get it ready to hit the racetrack. So I don't know. I think that's probably what I've grown the most from.
Growing up, who was your favorite race car driver?
Oh man, I don't know what it was about Dale Jarrett. I loved the Dale Jarrett UPS trucks and cars and all that stuff. I loved watching him race when I was younger, and he was always my favorite.
And my final question for you this evening: where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a good question. Hard to say. I would hope that I'm still in business with my business up here in New Hampshire, Northeast Auto Imports, and I really hope that I'm a professional race car driver as a full time job as well. But time will tell. I think I'm pretty realistic in my goals, and I know that the uh, the chances of me making it to the top are there. But I got to keep myself in a realistic check sometimes, and just make sure that my my goals and aspirations are realistic. So, um, not sure. I guess that's the best way to answer. Not sure. Like I said, hopefully still a business owner, and hopefully a race car driver still.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to hang out with us a little bit this evening, and hopefully you have a really good year, and maybe we get to talk to you again at the end of the season, see how everything went out for you.
For sure, I appreciate it, and love to be on. Hopefully, I'm on again soon.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Once again, that was Derek Griffith, who races in the late model series. He does a lot of other racing all over the country as well. And as I stated, we hope we get to talk to him again later in the year and see how everything worked out. Are you a race car driver, crew chief, pit member, track owner? Maybe you're just a huge fan of the sport. Contact us to get your spot on the show. After all, you deserve your 15 minutes of fame, and we'd love to hear from you. The easiest way to contact us is to go to speedwaydigest.com, check out the racing news section down at the bottom, and look for my name, Adam Sinclair, in one of the bylines. That's generally the easiest way to find me and to find my contact information. It's listed right there in my bio about the what I do for the speedwaydigest.com. Be sure to check that out. Our next guest this evening is SpotOn CMO Kevin Bryla. SpotOn, the leading software and payments provider, is the primary sponsor of Derek Griffith for his super late model races in 2022. The agreement marks the second season that SpotOn Technology, partner for Derek's auto business and tens of thousands of other small businesses, will sponsor Derek Griffith behind the wheel. I don't believe we've got Kevin connected right now. We do have a few different people online here in the chat room. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him connected. Let me send a little message here. As I say, we're going ahead and give it a second and see if Kevin can connect. I do see him as one of the listeners on the program, but I do not see his name in the little co-host / speakers box right now. So I do send out a little message. We do have a couple people in the connection, so let's see if that'll happen. If not, we've got a few other things we can talk about momentarily. The basic thing we can talk about is the fact that the season is underway, and it's a great season so far. There's been a lot of different stuff going on in the year. A lot of great attendance at some of the races. This weekend is the start of the IndyCar season. They're going to be in St. Petersburg. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little later in the program with our guests from KULR. We've had on the show, we've had a representative from KULR on before. They are one of the corporate sponsors for Andrei Autosport. They're going to be sponsoring Marco Andretti during the Indy 500 this year, which would be pretty awesome to see. So we'll go ahead and talk to KULR a little bit later on the show. As I'm standing by for Kevin to call in. I do see his name in the listeners box, but I don't see his name in the co-host / speakers box yet. So we're going to go ahead and stand by for a few more minutes and see if we can get Kevin Bryla to show up here in the connection box. I'm going to hit this button and see if that'll work.
Hello.
Again, we are still a little bit getting used to the Podbean platform. We've only been on here for a couple months now, but it is seeming to be very, very effective. It's seeming to be a little bit better connection than what we had on Speedway Digest on the other platform we had for several years, whose name is escaping me right now, but that's okay, because you don't need to worry about that, because we are Blog Talk Radio, because we are here on Podbean, and Podbean seems to be pretty awesome. So, as I said, I do just hit the button to invite Kevin Bryla on as a speaker. We also have Megan Palmer here listening in. She's one of the PR people, and we're happy that she's able to listen into the program tonight. We are sort of standing by here for Kevin Bryla to come on the show. He is listed again as one of the listeners, but not as a co-host / speaker. So we're standing by and seeing what that is. Again, we have a lot of different topics we're covering this evening. Mostly it's going to be on sponsorship things. We've got the sponsor from SpotOn here scheduled to be on the show momentarily. We've got a corporate partner for NASCAR, the Joseph Gabriel, the founder and CEO of Southern Computer Warehouse, is going to be on the program tonight. And we also have Keith Cochran from KULR, who's going to be on the program a little bit later this evening. Keith Cochran is going to be connecting via his computer, and I don't know if that's going to work out or not. As usual, everything is pretty much up in the air here with this show. We do have a lot of great people who we're going to get to talk to over the next few weeks, and we're very happy that Derek Griffith was able to talk to us this evening. I'm going to go ahead and send out a little message here on the chat room and see who this guy is. And we're
Hello?
happy to have you have people in the chat rooms here and in the online chat. I'm trying to make it a little bit more interactive, and we're working to have some different questions being asked in there. It's happened a few times in the different shows. I did just send a message to the other person who's currently in the box there. We'll see who that is, and we'll get them on the air if possible. Let's see here. Our next guest sitting is SpotOn CMO Kevin Bryla. Once again, SpotOn, the leading software and payments provider, is the primary sponsor of Derek Griffith in his supermodel late model races in 2022. Hello, Mr. Bryla. Are you on the air?
Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, this is Joseph Gabriel with Southern Computer Warehouse. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I know you're slated to be on a little bit later this evening, but we do not have Kevin Bryla on the air, so let's go ahead and get into your segment of the program if we can. I'll go
Sure.
ahead and do your intro right now. Keeping it the theme with sponsors, our next guest provides his money and expertise to NASCAR, the National Association for Stock Auto Racing, which continues to deliver on its commitment to involve the racing industry through technology innovation, announcing recently that Southern Computer Warehouse has become the official technology value-added reseller of NASCAR in a multi-year partnership. We'll get into that in a moment. In addition to its official partnership, SCW joins the NASCAR Technology Partner Platform, helping to furnish a future-forward and innovative technology approach to NASCAR with other industry leaders. SCW is a value-add reseller of technology products and services with manufacturing partnerships across more than 3,000 brands. It will provide NASCAR access to its more than 1 million IT hardware and software products, collaborating with NASCAR and other official partners to find more ways to leverage technology in the industry. The NASCAR Technology Partner Program was created in 2021 in August as a way to connect tech leaders from around the globe in a collaborative and fast-paced environment that serves as an incubator for new ideas, case studies, relationships, and efficiencies. More than 30 leading-edge companies participated in the program's inaugural event at Daytona National Speedway, including NASCAR official partners Xfinity, Comcast Business, Verizon, and Amazon Web Services. As Mr. Gabriel stated, he is on the line, and we are pleased to welcome him to the program this evening. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming on. First off, what makes SCW a good partner for NASCAR?
Well, we've been an IT provider now for about 27, 28 years, and we have focused on, outside the perimeter accounts. And I believe that, our level of customer focus and service and commitment to just a great experience is just matched by NASCAR. I've been a fan for a long time, and I think we all know just the level of service and fan support and commitment they have, and the level of interaction they give is just second to none. And I think that's really the core of what makes the partnership work.
What, in a nutshell, does SCW do?
Um, we are a provider of computer hardware and software and networking products into cities and counties, school districts, corporations, and healthcare organizations. And we do that across the country in about 46 different states.
And how many races do you attend as part of your partnership role with NASCAR?
We're planning to attend pretty much most of the races in some capacity. It's a great opportunity for us to bring out our customers, bring out our vendors, and bring out our manufacturer partners. With everything that's gone on the last couple of years, this is just a great platform to get people together and have fun. And it's also a great for us because we have joined the iRacing College Series, and we will be traveling around, with the different races. We'll be visiting something like 40 different colleges and universities along the season this year and next year. So
I,
we'll be doing that.
I saw a little bit about that. I actually did a little piece for SpeedwayDigest.com about the KULR series. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're creating, and I don't know all the specifics. I'm learning the whole e-racing, iRacing stuff as we go. But basically, you can go and sign up and go and do your own heat. And you can drive on the iRacing platform with anything from a keyboard to a little steering wheel to a full-size cage, with 3 monitors and a full-powered server. So you go on and you compete and do a heat. And then also they have an iRacing 18-wheeler that will be going around the country with these cages and an experience set up inside of it. So you can go in and compete. And so they'll go from college and university as they go into a city. They'll hit a couple of schools here in Atlanta. In a few weeks, they're going to hit like 5 colleges. And then, everybody gets to do it. And then they'll come up with heat winners. And then those heat winners will compete. And then they'll come up with champions.
Is there any team in particular in NASCAR that you work with more than others?
We are working with Austin Dillon's iRacing team. So we are the sponsor of that, the 33 SCW car. The driver is Tyler Hurst, and it's part of the Austin Dillon iRacing team. So we have gotten our toes into it through the iRacing side, and then we'll see what we do on the on-track side down the road.
Cool. And my final question for you this evening is, what benefits does SCW get as a corporate partner in NASCAR?
There's lots of them. And for us, it's really a great opportunity to thank our customers. Like I mentioned, we've been doing business now for 28 years and have customers across the country. And we are about to hit $1 billion in lifetime sales. And so this partnership with NASCAR is really our ability to go out and thank our customers and use it as a platform to get together with them and see them and all that. And it's also an opportunity to really show off the sophistication, the creativity, and the ingenuity that our customers have provided to their customers out in the cities and counties and school districts across the country. And we really look to highlight that and really show folks what's really been done out there that they maybe don't realize.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. It's cool to get a little bit of an insight into what your company does and what how you work with different race teams, and hopefully you get a little bit of exposure both through NASCAR as well as through us here, and get a few more customers as well.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate talking with you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and thanks again. Once again, that was Joseph Gabriel with SCW, Southern Computer Warehouse. Kevin Bryla is trying to call in this evening. It has not happened yet, but he is trying to call in tonight. So I was just informed by Megan Palmer that he is trying to connect to the programs. We're going to go ahead and give him a few minutes to stand by. Once again, I'd like to thank Joseph Gabriel as well as Derek Griffith for calling into the program this evening. It's very interesting. Now let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Kevin Bryla into the show. Hello, how you doing this evening? Can you hear me, Mr. Bryla? Is that you? Are you connected? It does not look like it yet. Okay, so he is apparently trying to call in. He is not here yet. We do have another guest waiting in the wings here, and we'll go ahead and give them a few minutes and see if we can get Mr. Bryla on the air. If not, we'll go ahead and move on a little bit further here. Once again, we are playing it by ear as we normally do and trying to get things connected. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Let's go ahead and shift gears into the world of IndyCar, since I'm pretty sure that's who is standing by on the line. And our next guest continues on the sponsorship theme of this evening. KULR is working with Andrei Technologies, ATAC, the advanced technology arm of Andrei Autosport, to develop a thermal management testing and design platform for high-performance battery solutions. They are co-developing and have plans to co-market motorsports battery and safety tech to automotive partners for mass-marketed EVs. Andretti uses KULR (PPR) to store and transport lithium-ion batteries safely on board the St. Helena in the Extreme E-Series. KULR's PPR packaging solutions, the safe case, for lithium batteries are critical at preventing cell-to-cell thermal runaway propagation, which inhibits the fire and ejecta of a single battery cell from exiting the battery enclosure. We're going to talk a little bit about that problem in a little while. In addition to their sponsorship in Formula E, KULR is the primary sponsor of Marco Andre's number 98 Honda at the Indy 500 this season. As I'm pretty sure he is on the air, let's go ahead and welcome Keith Cochran from KULR to the program this evening. Hello, Mr. Cochran. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can, Adam. How you doing tonight?
Very well. Thank you for coming on. I know you had some issues downloading the app and all that earlier, but I'm very happy you were able to join us this evening.
Yes, sir. No problem. I appreciate you having us on and being able to share a little bit about our technology from KULR. Before we get going, do want to just pass out our prayers to the Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a really bad deal over there, and hopefully it gets worked out quickly and it's safer for the whole world if everything comes together peacefully. Because what's going on right now really isn't good for anyone.
No, sir. But hey, let's talk about some exciting stuff that we got going on. We do have the Andretti's in town this weekend for the St. Pete race, which is fantastic for us. Look forward to seeing them tomorrow and throughout the weekend, and hopefully Team Andretti can pull off a victory this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a great weekend for racing. I know that there is a little bit of concern about weather there. But the rain chance is relatively low compared to it's been over the past few years. So, and the weather's going to be nice. It won't be warm. At least won't be chilly over there. So that'll be pretty cool. And it should be a good race. There's a lot of awesome teams competing this year. Some new teams to the course, new teams to the series, and it should be a really great deal of racing. I hope to get to see a little bit of it, but it might be a little difficult, but I'm definitely going to provide a lot of coverage on SpeedwayDigest.com about the race and about what goes on over there. Let's go ahead and get into the question, shall we? No one can argue that the global economy is becoming increasingly electrified and connected. How is KULR working to make the world a safer place?
Well, KULR develops and manufactures licensed industry-leading battery testing methodologies, as well as cost-effective cooling technologies to serve the world of electric transportation, energy storage, battery transportation, and recycling. In addition to that, aerospace and defense applications. Leveraging the company's roots in developing breakthrough cooling solutions for NASA space missions, and backed by a strong intellectual property portfolio, KULR delivers a reliable, a safer, and more energy efficient product in an ethical and environmentally sustainable manner.
With the cargo ship ablaze in the Atlantic, the one that was transporting all the fancy Volkswagens and Bentleys and everything else like that, with millions of dollars in cars with lithium-ion batteries on board, what's being done to make sure this sort of accident that most people agree was related to the lithium-ion batteries doesn't become commonplace?
Yeah, we certainly hope that it doesn't. There's a lot of Porsches on there as well that were pretty high end, but everybody's working on safer solutions, and that includes battery cell chemistry, which we also are currently working on ourselves. But we have some proprietary technology that can really help in these situations. So KULR's passive propagation resistant solutions have proven to stop or mitigate the impacts of thermal runaway propagation in battery packs or between multiple battery packs. It's trusted by NASA, the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy. KULR's thermal runaway shield prevents cell-to-cell propagation and is the ideal partner for industries that demand safe and reliable lightweight battery management solutions.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the CellCheck modular battery management system platform and how you are able to make batteries smarter?
Well, we certainly think this is a revolutionary technology, and we are in the process of bringing that now into the open market in 22. So the CellCheck modular battery management system platform is KULR's AI-powered battery safety technology for e-mobility, e-storage, and fleet applications. It captures real-time and lifetime battery intelligence, sensing adverse electrical, environmental, and physical events to analyze and control the battery pack for maximum battery safety, reliability, and performance. And if you combine this with our PPR solutions, this unique dual approach ensures maximum protection against hazardous battery explosions and interrupted operations of that battery pack.
How can you apply your work with breakthrough cooling systems for NASA space missions to help keep race car drivers and race cars more comfortable under grueling race competitions, such as what they suffer in the Extreme E Series?
Well, for sure. There's a lot of history behind this. So KULR has more than 30 contracts with NASA and collaborates with the Department of Transportation, the U.S. Air Force, and other government agencies on projects critical to the country's national security interests. And we're able to take that technology and reapply that. KULR develops its cooling technology with the help of NASA for regulating extreme temperatures of sensitive components in space. The company has manufactured custom designed heat sinks that channel heat away and thermal management products for 2 NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory space missions. We're on the Mars Perseverance, which landed not too long ago, and we had phase change material on that protected the Sherlock instrument pack, and that controlled the laser guidance system that allowed that craft to land safely on Mars. And we're also going to be on the return mission to the moon in 2025. This technology is also being used on the International Space Station, as well as the Mercury Messenger product. So KULR has a long-term history in technology and development partnership with Andretti's now, and the advanced technology arm of the racing team, Andrei Autosports. The alliance will establish a thermal management testing and design platform for high-performance battery solutions with the highest safety ratings that will be adapted to the technical requirements of the Andretti's racing enterprise. And it's the goal of transferring solutions to mass market EVs at some point in the future.
And one final question for you, because you answered a little bit of my next question, but let's go ahead and move on. What's the best thing about working with Andrei Autosport?
Come on, Adam. They're really cool people. I mean, that's the best part. I mean, the legacy, the provenance, their incredible connection to the auto racing world and what they've accomplished, their passion, all of that, it just rubs off on you, and you just want to do the absolute best you can to support them and their whole organization. First-class people. And I think at the end of the day, we have a shared passion for innovation and a commitment to sustainability. I think that would hit the highlights of it. But again, just a great team of people.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight, and good luck this weekend. It should be a great race there in St. Petersburg. Hopefully the Andretti team pulls that ahead, and you're able to celebrate with them in victory lane.
We sure hope so. Thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate you having us on.
Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks again.
You too. Bye-bye.
Once again, we'd like to thank Keith Cochran for coming on the live show tonight, and very appreciative of the KULR Company and their support of the program. We've had representatives of them on before, and it's always great to talk to them. They seem like they're very interested in their jobs and very interested in their future of their work with Andrei Autosport. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Be sure to check out past episodes of Thursday Night Thunder, as well as the other shows on the Speedway Digest Radio Network at speedwaydigest.podbean.com. You can also check out the show on Facebook by searching for Speedway Digest Thursday Night Thunder in the search bar. I also invite you to read the articles covering all aspects of motorsports at speedwaydigest.com. As I stated, we've had a lot of time this week, not as much as I'd like, but we had time this week to go ahead and update the racing news section of speedwaydigest.com with a lot of different news from the world of IndyCar, as well as the world of IMSA and a little bit of NASCAR. As everyone knows, this past weekend was the Daytona 500. It was a great race to watch. It was awesome to see Austin Cindric cross the finish line in first place. He seems to be a very amazing guy, very interested in his in racing and very passionate about motorsports. And he seems like he has lots of fun too. And in the end, that's really what's most important, is if you're not having a good time when you're racing behind the wheel of a car, you should begin a different business. So be sure to check that out. There's a little bit of an article about Austin Cindric and his victory, and there's a chance to win a bottle of beer from Keystone Light. So be sure to check that out. That's in the Cup News section, in the NASCAR Cup News section of SpeedwayDigest.com. Went out this afternoon. In addition, if you're a fan of South Florida and who isn't, be sure to check out the latest news and information about our slice of paradise at my blog site, For Plum's Fantastic Finds. Now, that site's going to get a little bit more attention tomorrow, and it's also going to get a lot more attention here in the next week as I'm able to share some of the stuff we're doing. We're going to be going on a little cruise, a 5-day cruise out of Port Miami. So be sure to check out the For Plum's Fantastic Finds for information about that. The easiest way to do that is to check out on Twitter at PB Happening. That'll be where I'm sharing a lot of the pictures from Instagram on there. You can also check it out on Facebook at For Plum's Fantastic Finds. All the articles are sent there automatically. And also by heading to HTTP For Plum's Fantastic Finds. That's all one word, FABORPLUMBS, fantasticfinds.wordpress.com. Once again, we'd like to thank you very much for listening to the show tonight, and look forward to seeing you again next week, because I will be back next week in the Thunderdome as we discuss the major issues in the world of iron auto racing. We're hoping that our co-host Michael Lally Capallo is with us next week, because we do have a lot of great people to talk to, including the guy from SpotOn. We're hoping that he's able to come on the show. He was really planning on coming on tonight. He tried really, really hard. The connection didn't work, and sometimes we have those sort of problems. Again, we apologize to Kevin Bryla and Megan Palmer, the PR woman. But we'd like to thank Derek Griffith and our other guests this evening, who are Derek Griffith, Joseph Gabriel, and of course Keith Cochran from KULR. It's awesome to talk to all three of them. Be sure to check out their information. You can find KULR, KULR, by searching for that in your favorite search section. You can find more information from Southern Computer Warehouse. That's Southern Computer Warehouse. Be sure to check that out as well. And of course, Derek Griffiths. Derek Griffiths, the racer, the late model racer, who also races a whole lot of different other series. We didn't even scratch the surface about his work in auto racing. But as he stated, he's got a lot of different auto racing things going on right now, and it should be cool to see how that goes in the future. And again, thank you very much for listening to the program tonight. We hope you're able to listen to us next week, and have a great week.